Stop everything right now and listen. Sit down. Hear this. Put the busyness down, the apology forming on your tongue, the scroll your thumb has learned like a reflex. Be still under this voice. This is not motivation. This is not encouragement. This is recognition. I am naming what has been unnamed in you and repositioning what has been misplaced around you. You have been overlooked when you were the one carrying the weight. You have been underpaid while your excellence paid everyone else's bills. You have been undercredited as your ideas were paraded with someone else's signature on them. You have been overextended, saying yes to hold everything together while your own borders disappeared. And in the quiet, you have wondered if this is it. If this is how it stays, if maybe you asked for too much, if maybe you misheard me. You smiled in rooms that did not see you. You showed up early and left late and still felt invisible. You gave and then sat with the silence that followed. I watched all of it. I counted the cost you refused to invoice. Every sigh, every night you talked to me when there was no reply from anyone else. Nothing was random, nothing was punishment. I let you finish that sentence because I am writing the next one, and it begins like this. The season of shrinking is over. Hear me. You were not summoned to be comforted. You were summoned to be repositioned. I am interrupting you to inaugurate you. I am breaking your habit of making yourself smaller to fit rooms I am about to outgrow for you. Something massive is moving around your work. What was hidden is about to be seen. What was sidelined is being pulled to the center. What was minimized is about to be measured correctly. I am not asking their permission to do it. I am not negotiating with the old gatekeepers. I am moving you because I authored you, and I will place what I have formed wherever I choose. This is not flattery. This is function, elevation without explanation, adjustment without apology. Now, hear me clearly. Stop playing small. Your habits of shrinking were survival, but they are not your assignment. You learned silence to dodge conflict. You learned invisibility to stay safe. You learned over-functioning to keep myopic leaders from dropping what mattered. Those were tactics for storms, not blueprints for building. Put them down, stand up inside. Square your shoulders under the name I call you by. I say you are chosen. I say you are mine. And what I say about you defines who you are. Press the light button as a declaration. Let heaven record that you're done shrinking. Do it now, not as routine, but as covenant. Mark this moment in the earth the way I have already marked it in heaven. You do not need another committee to agree with what I have decreed. You need to obey the summons. Breathe. Receive it. The mantle you tried to fold into a pocket is being placed on your shoulders in full view. The announcement is clear. The season of shrinking is over. And because it is over, I will now begin to move you. Now hear me clearly. What you called delay was not denial, it was preparation. What you called being overlooked was protection. I have been holding the clock, not to punish you, but to position you. Nothing was random, nothing was punishment. I watched you be trained in silence. I watched you answer rejection emails with restraint and dignity. I watched you send proposals that were ignored, and still you refined them. I saw ideas you birthed paraded under someone else's name, and still you guarded your heart from bitterness. I counted the months when income came in a trickle, while outflow roared, and yet you paid what you could and kept your word. I stood with you when partnerships fractured, when family misunderstood the size of what I showed you, when your own church and community could not see it yet, and I stayed when burnout whispered, "Quit." I did not leave. Listen to me. This was training. I hid you to win you from applause addiction. I slowed you to rescue you from reckless acceleration. I let some rooms be closed to you so you would stop negotiating your worth in rooms I was planning to move you beyond. I kept you in the long corridor so your discernment could sharpen, Your ego could soften, your skill could deepen, your motives could purify, your endurance could build, and your voice could refine. You thought you were falling behind. You were being formed on time. You learned to hear me without noise. You learned to work without clinging to outcomes. You learned to separate favor from flattery. You learned to take correction without collapsing, to rest without quitting, to say no without guilt. You learned that provision and popularity are not the same thing. I reduced the crowd so I could increase your clarity. I allowed you to feel invisible so you would become indivisible. Integrated, whole, not for sale at the price of cheap affirmation. Now understand the timeline. The last season taught you how to survive. The next season will demand you steward. Survival was about keeping the flame alive in the wind. Stewardship is about building a hearth that warms others and cannot be blown out. Survival was the test of grit. Stewardship is the test of governance, of calendars, of conversations, of character when the spotlight turns. In trials, you survived. In blessings, you steward. This is why you were not wasting time. You were gaining weight. I was adding gravity to your name, so you would not drift when visibility increases. Hear me. You do not need new worth. You need new readiness for weight, for visibility, for increase. Worthiness was never the issue. I settled that when I called you mine. Readiness is, and your readiness is showing. The muscle of restraint you built will now hold the mantle of responsibility. The boundaries you practiced in obscurity will now protect your peace in exposure. The humility you cultivated when ignored will keep you safe when celebrated. Let heaven record it. You are graduating from silence with a voice that knows when to speak and when to stay quiet. From scarcity with a heart that spends wisely. From invisibility with integrity that does not need to perform. Release the shame you attached to delay. It never belonged to you. What felt like stagnation was scaffolding. I was building you upward in a way they could not see. Breathe. Receive the meaning I am placing over your story. You were trained on purpose, for purpose, and now that purpose will require everything you learned in the quiet. Now hear me clearly. What I say about you defines who you are. I say you are chosen. I say you are refined. I say you are authorized. I did not wait for a committee to validate you. I decided, and my decision carries the credential your future requires. Worthiness was never the issue. Readiness is, and your readiness is showing. I have watched you choose integrity when shortcuts were cheaper. I have watched you master your emotions when accusation wanted your reaction. I have watched you keep your word when it cost you. That is readiness. That is maturity. That is why I am speaking to you this way now, because I can trust you with what is next. Here is the hidden lie you have been carrying. You kept waiting to feel confident before you move. You rehearsed your doubts as a ritual. You thought the surge of certainty had to arrive first, like a permission slip in your chest. Hear me. I require obedience before you feel ready. Confidence will chase your obedience. It does not precede it. Courage is not the absence of trembling. Courage is movement while trembling. I part seas for feet that step, not for minds that speculate. If you require every variable to be guaranteed before you act, you will worship control and call it wisdom. Do not do that. Do not trade my voice for your spreadsheet and then wonder why momentum passes you by. Hiding is not humility. Shrinking is not holiness. Silence is not always peace. True humility is clarity submitted to service. It knows what it carries and refuses to counterfeit it or compete with it. True holiness is alignment, clean motives, clean methods, clean boundaries. Peace is not the absence of noise. It is the presence of order under my authority. You have used false humility to excuse delay, and it quietly trained people to treat you as optional. Withdraw that permission now. Stand in what I have invested. Walk in what I have taught you. Announce with your decisions that you are here on assignment, not audition. Consider the cost of playing small. Opportunities have passed by your house because your lights were off at the hour they knocked. Resentment has been building in a corner of your heart because you kept burying what I told you to plant. Spiritual fatigue increased because you carried the weight of pretending. Performing is heavier than purpose. Gifts were buried, and buried gifts accrue interest in the form of regret. Some of your bitterness was not betrayal, it was backlog. You were billing your soul for the debt of your own postponement. That invoice is closed today. Do not go back to the old version of you that begged for permission. Do not go back to apologizing for your excellence, discounting your value, or diluting your voice for rooms I am about to move you beyond. I have authorized you to move with holy boldness, meek in spirit, firm in direction, disciplined in execution. Decide quickly, act cleanly, speak precisely, protect what matters. When fear whispers for you to wait, answer it with motion. Seal it with a declaration. Type, I will not shrink. Not for people, not for fear, not for comfort. Let heaven record your agreement. Do it now. Mark this day as the day you stopped outsourcing your identity to the approval of the unassigned. You are already qualified. Walk like it, build like it, obey like it, and as you move, watch how the path rises to meet your feet. Look at me and breathe. The path has risen to meet your feet. Now you must see where it divides. I open work seasons through 3 doors: promotion, pivot, relocation. Your next assignment will arrive through one of these. Discernment decides your speed. One door will look obvious, almost embarrassingly clear. One will feel risky, like stepping off a familiar dock into water that looks deeper than your history. One will require letting go of what you have learned to hold as comfort. You have been asking for increase, and I am answering, but I rarely answer with the shape your control expected. This is why confusion happens. People pray for more, but resist the door more travels through. They want harvest, but refuse the field switch. They want kingship, but reject the crown's weight. They want expansion, but cling to the room that shrunk them because it is familiar. Do not do that. Hear me name them quickly before I teach them deeply. Promotion is when I elevate you without asking their permission. It is the same gift with a higher seat, a longer table, and a heavier expectation. Pivot is when I end what still works, because I am sending what is greater. I change your form to match your function. Relocation is when I change your ground so your roots can multiply. Sometimes I do not change your gift at all, only the environment around it, so fruit can finally appear in season. Do not romanticize one over the others. The correct door is the one I have assigned, not the one your pride, fear, or fatigue prefers. Now hear me clearly. Misreading the door creates unnecessary delay. If you call a pivot a failure, you will keep propping up an old frame and bury new oil. If you label a relocation as disloyalty, you will drown where the well has run dry. If you treat promotion like a compliment instead of a calling, you will over-explain, under-boundary, and exhaust the increase before it stabilizes. Ask the right question. What must you stop tolerating to walk through the correct door? Tolerance of chaos keeps you from promotion. Tolerance of applause keeps you from pivot. Tolerance of stale ground keeps you from relocation. End the tolerance and the door will clarify. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. Conversations that repeat a phrase I whispered to you in private. Messages that arrive at exact timing after months of silence. Opportunities that appear without you begging for a seat. Watch how certain names keep surfacing. How the same city keeps pulling at you. How a problem you are uniquely built to solve keeps finding you from multiple angles. Notice the grace lifting from what used to be easy. the holy restlessness that will not be soothed by distraction, the provision beginning to line up ahead of your move. These are not accidents. These are road signs in daylight. Prepare your heart for the obvious, steady your nerves for the risky, and loosen your grip on the familiar. I am not trying to confuse you. I am insisting that you grow. Pause right now and agree with me. You will not worship the doorway. You will honor the assignor. Let heaven record it. I will recognize the door that is mine. I will end the tolerances that keep me small, and I will walk through at the speed of obedience. Dr. 1. Promotion. When I elevate you without asking their permission. Listen carefully. Promotion in this move is not just a title. It is visibility you cannot hide from, authority you must wield soberly, clients you are ready to serve, influence that multiplies impact, and credibility that arrives like a notarized letter with my seal. It is the same gift you have carried, set at a higher table with a longer reach and a stricter expectation. Promotion is not a compliment, it is a weight, and I am trusting your shoulders because I forged them in silence. Do not treat a mantle like a medal. Medals are worn, mantles are worked. Here are the signs. Sudden advocacy begins to surface. Voices you did not pay start mentioning your name in rooms you could not enter. A leader points at your work and says, "Bring them in." Requests stack without you begging. A budget appears for what you use to bootstrap. An offer arrives out of nowhere, aligned with what I whispered in the night. Timing tightens. Resources line up. The same opportunity circles you from multiple directions until delay feels like disobedience. These are not coincidences, these are confirmations. Promotion knocks with evidence. Now hear me clearly. The first resistance is not external, it is internal. Imposter syndrome will hiss, "Who do you think you are?" Fear of being seen will try to drag you back under the cloak that kept you safe. Fear of responsibility will inflate every what if until you forget what I already carried you through. Fear of losing peace will lie, pretending that visibility and chaos are twins. They are not. Peace is order under my authority, and I am increasing order, not breaking it. I did not train you in quiet to bury you in it. I trained you so your peace could travel with you into rooms that used to shake you. So take a new posture, speak up when you carry the solution, document results, so impact becomes undeniable. Stop letting your brilliance evaporate because you kept no record. Price honestly, no more apologetic invoices for premium work. Apply for the role, submit the proposal, pitch the partnership, raise your hand. Stop waiting to be discovered while you hide. I am sending the spotlight to reveal stewardship, not ego. Do not dim it with false humility. Put numbers on your excellence. Put timelines on your delivery. Put boundaries on your access. Beware false promotion. Not every platform is provision. Some are traps with pretty backdrops. If an offer flatters you but refuses boundaries, it is fishing for your surrender, not your service. If the opportunity requires you to compromise integrity, dilute convictions, or trade transparency for secrecy, it is not from me. If urgency forbids you to pray, if terms keep shifting after you agree, if pay is high but the cost is your voice, back away. My promotion protects your alignment. It enlarges your assignment without shrinking your soul. Strings are not support, they are leashes. Steward the weight. In trials, you survived. In promotion, you must govern time, money, energy, access. Time, architect your calendar, block deep work, guard recovery, institute a weekly review so drift cannot hide. Money, build a reserve, set percentages for generosity and growth. Pay your obligations on time and stop signaling scarcity by undercharging and then overspending to soothe guilt. Energy. Schedule around your peak focus. Sleep becomes strategic, not optional. Access. Not everyone gets your ear. Yes becomes rare and precise. No becomes clean and kind. Meetings must match mandate. Elevation without administration collapses. Let heaven record it. You will carry this weight with boundaries and integrity. Say it with your actions now. Accept the advocacy. Answer the email. Send the deck. Sign what is clean. Decline what is crooked. And walk in as one who was sent. I am promoting you to serve more, not to prove more. Wear the mantle. Govern the increase. Keep your peace. And do not apologize for the seat I gave you. Door 2, pivot. When I end what works because I'm sending what's greater. Now hear me clearly. A pivot is not abandonment. It is obedience to a bigger assignment that requires a new form. I am not canceling your calling. I am changing its container. A pivot can be a shift in niche, role, strategy, audience, business model, creative lane, or leadership assignment without losing the core anointing I placed in you. Form moves, function remains. The song is the same, the instrument changes. Here are the signs. What once ignited you now bores you, not because you are ungrateful, but because grace has lifted from that expression. Friction repeats in patterns you cannot fix with more hustle. Success arrives and feels strangely empty, like eating air, visible but not nourishing. New problems keep finding you from different directions, and you feel alive when you solve them, even if no one is clapping yet. Your language is changing, your questions are maturing, your curiosity is migrating to a future you cannot unsee. Doors that used to open easily now stall. Meanwhile, conversations, messages, and opportunities around the new lane keep surfacing at precise timing. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. Grieve cleanly and then obey. You are not failing, you are outgrowing. The discomfort you interpret as confusion is actually a compass. It points where grace has moved. Grief does not mean go back. It means honor what was while you walk into what is next. Thank the season that trained you. Bless the people who stretched you. Close the chapter with dignity. Do not scorch the field you once harvested. Here is my instruction. Test, prototype, learn. Begin building the new system while honoring the old season. Pilot the new offer with a small cohort. Rebrand with clarity, not chaos. Retrain for what tomorrow requires. Courses, mentors, rehearsals, reps. Quietly sunset the services that no longer align. Document transitions. Communicate early to those who have trusted you. Create off-ramps and handoffs, so no one is harmed by your obedience. Do not wait for the applause to align. Align and let applause find the fruit later. Beware the trap. Loyalty to the familiar is not the same as loyalty to me. Fear of starting over is a mirage. You are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience, from systems, from stamina. Fear of what people will say is the cheapest prison in the world. I did not train you in silence for you to be ruled by whispers. Needing applause before alignment is idolatry dressed as prudence. Release it. Some will misunderstand. Let them. Some will call it quitting. I call it graduating. Your responsibility is obedience, not optics. Now, hear me. Move by design, not drama. Set a 30-day test, a 60-day ramp, a 90-day stabilization. Measure by fruit, not by fear. Keep your peace, keep your integrity, keep your word as you shift. Let heaven record it. You will not cradle yesterday when tomorrow is knocking. Seal this moment as completion of the old assignment. Type 999 for completion. Let the old assignment close cleanly so the new one can open fully. Do it now. Mark it. Agree with me. And watch how grace gathers where you pivot in obedience. Dr. 3. Relocation. When I move your environment to match your expansion. Now hear me clearly. Sometimes I don't change your gift. I change your ground so your gift can finally multiply. This is not always a change of career. It is a change of climate. Relocation can mean moving cities or nations, yes, but it also means changing workplaces, switching teams, entering new rooms, leaving old networks, and resetting your rhythms and routines so your roots can drink from the water I am sending. New neighborhood, new office, new church, new circle, new calendar, same anointing, finally in soil that can hold it. Here are the signs. A restlessness that will not leave wakes you at odd hours. Not anxiety, assignment. Doors in your current environment begin to close with a quiet finality. Emails stall, enthusiasm fades, momentum that used to be easy feels sticky. Meanwhile, repeated invitations emerge elsewhere. The same city keeps coming up in conversations, a specific team keeps asking for you, a region you never considered starts sending inquiries that mirror what I whispered in the night. New connections arrive quickly and cleanly. Mentors, collaborators, clients who fit you like keys that never scraped before. Green lights appear in clusters, housing, visas, offers, clearances, aligning without you forcing outcomes. These are not coincidences, these are confirmations. Here is the spiritual logic. Some soil cannot hold what I am growing in you. The climate of certain places either stunts or accelerates destiny. A cactus cannot flourish in a swamp. An oak cannot root on a cliffside. A seed can be perfect and still fail in the wrong ground. You have mistaken loyalty to a zip code for loyalty to me. Familiarity has become a leash. Honor has become the excuse you use to stay invisible. I did not train you for obscurity that masquerades as faithfulness while it buries your influence. I am not punishing your past. I am protecting your future. When the well runs dry in one land, I open a river in another. Do not stay because fear says, it's safer to be small where you are known. Comfort is a cage when calling outgrows it. Nostalgia is a soft blanket that smothers boldness. Sentiment is not strategy. Hear me, you do not betray your history by obeying your destiny. Bless the ground that raised you. Do not make it your grave. Steward the transition with wisdom. Move in peace, not panic. Plan the relocation like governance, not escape. Build a reserve. Cut debt-creating impulses. Reduce subscriptions and baggage, literal and emotional. Seek counsel from people who steward fruit, not just opinions. Walk the streets of the new place if you can. Price the costs. Map a 30-day landing, a 60-day integration, a 90-day stabilization, housing, work, community, worship, wellness. Do not announce prematurely to those who sabotage. Reduce access to your decisions. Keep your vision covered until its roots take. Share details only with intercessors and implementers. Not every ear deserves your coordinates. Protection Council, guard your peace fiercely. Travel with order. Keep your mornings holy as you build new rhythms. Limit old voices that keep you small. Archive the numbers that drain you. Change your routines on purpose. New gym, new commute cadence, new study hour, new Sabbath boundary. Curate your rooms. Do not crowdsource your destiny. If a door demands breathless hurry, shady terms, or secrecy that violates your integrity, it is not mine. My green lights come with clarity, not confusion. Let heaven record it. I will go where grace has moved. I will change my ground so my gift can multiply. If this is your door, mark it now. Type 333 as your agreement with open roads and right rooms. Do it now. Pack with praise, travel with peace, arrive with order. I am sending angels before you to clear the path, favor behind you to close the old cleanly, and wisdom beside you to build in the new. Where I plant you next, the land will recognize you. Now hear me clearly. I am not the author of confusion. I am the giver of patterns. When I open a door, I confirm it. I will give you 9 confirmations because I want you to move with peace, not panic, with precision, not guessing. Track them, Test them, time them. When these converge, you will know which door is yours. First, divine urgency, not hype, not anxiety. A repeated internal nudge that will not release you. It wakes you gently but persistently. It sharpens at prayer, not at pressure. It will not be soothed by distraction. Promotion urgency sounds like step up. Pivot urgency sounds like change form. Relocation urgency sounds like change ground. The nudge persists until honored. Second, unusual clarity after prayer. You set it before me, and fear quiets while direction strengthens. Questions remain, but the compass stops spinning. When you pray, confusion decreases, not multiplies. If clarity only appears when you stop praying, that is not me. My voice sorts noise and settles the path in your spirit. Third, aligned conversations. Without coordination, multiple people echo the same theme or language I whispered in private. A mentor says it, a stranger repeats it, a message lands with your exact phrasing. 3 witnesses, clean and unforced. No fishing, no leading questions. Independent alignment becomes undeniable. Fourth, timed opportunities. Emails, calls, and offers arrive at precise moments, often within hours or days of your obedient step. You will marvel at the orchestration. Calendars open, rooms request you. Meetings that once took months to secure now schedule themselves. Timing tightens like a drawstring around the right door. Fifth, favor with boundaries. The opportunity grows without demanding compromise. They honor your values, your pace, your non-negotiables. Clear contracts, transparent terms, healthy expectations. No secrecy, no rushed ultimatums, no reward for betraying your integrity. Alignment and honor walk together. Sixth, resource provision in sequence. Tools, collaborators, or funds appear right when they are needed, not all at once, but in a stepwise cadence that matches obedience. The right software, the exact expert, the bridge financier, the unexpected discount. Provision meets the step. It does not reward paralysis. Seventh, peace in the decision, not necessarily in the process. Your stomach may flutter, calendars may tighten, logistics may stretch you, yet beneath the waves is a settled yes. You sleep after deciding. You breathe deeper even while building. The process can be loud. The permission is quiet and unshakable. Eighth, exposure of drains. As the door opens, people and systems that shrink you reveal themselves clearly. Saboteurs self-identify. Old agreements feel heavy. Leaky containers leak faster when new oil pours. This is mercy. End the tolerances. Upgrade the infrastructure. Do not negotiate with what already confessed it cannot carry you. Ninth, acceleration after obedience. Momentum follows your first aligned step. One faithful move triggers 3 new confirmations. Emails beget introductions. Introductions beget contracts. Contracts beget impact. Delay slows. Alignment speeds. Obedience is the ignition. Hear me. The correct door doesn't only open, it confirms itself repeatedly and cleanly. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. If you see 1 sign, watch. If you see 3, prepare. If you see 6, move plans into motion. If you see 9, move now. Let heaven record it. You will choose by confirmation, not by fear, by assignment, not by appetite, by peace, not by pressure. Track the patterns, honor the witness. Walk through at the speed of obedience. Now hear me clearly. Your breakthrough will not come to a life that keeps leaking. Stop playing small. Your tolerances are canceling your prayers. I can open doors all day, but if your container is cracked, the oil will run out on the floor of good intentions. This is confrontation as mercy. I am showing you the 7 leaks so you can seal them and hold what I am pouring. First leak. Underpricing and overgiving to prove yourself. You discount to be liked and then resent the very people you trained to expect you cheap. You add just one more until scope disappears and your excellence bleeds out as exhaustion. Price with truth, not with fear. Define scope, put it in writing, bill on schedule, charge deposits, and stop gifting what I called you to steward. Generosity is holy when chosen, not when coerced by insecurity. Second leak, staying in rooms where you must edit your voice to be accepted. If they only tolerate you muted, they do not deserve you full. I did not refine your voice in silence to have you translate yourself into something smaller. Exit the table that requires self-erasure. Choose rooms that honor assignment, not just access. Alignment is oxygen. Suffocation is not loyalty. Third leak, inconsistent discipline. Starting, stopping, restarting. Inspiration without structure. Momentum dies where rituals are optional. Architect your rhythm, morning watch, deep work blocks, weekly review, non-negotiable Sabbath, track inputs, measure outputs, calendar your obedience. Creativity is a river. Dams and channels make it power. Feelings are visitors, systems are guardians. Fourth leak, loyalty to people who benefit from your invisibility. Some only clap when you are convenient and quiet. Honor is not slavery. Gratitude is not a gag order. Assess by fruit. Do they multiply your purpose or manage their comfort with your smallness? Bless them, but withdraw the permission to define your ceiling. Reposition access. Love deeply, trust wisely. Fifth leak, fear of visibility. Hiding behind perfectionism and endless preparation. You call it excellence. I call it delay dressed in a tuxedo. Ship version 1. Publish the draft. Take the stage trembling. Iterate in public. I part the sea for moving feet. Courage before certainty. Clarity follows motion. Sixth leak, financial disorder. Money leaks, impulse spending, lack of planning that sabotages expansion. Late fees are attacks on drift. Subscriptions you forgot are slow punctures in destiny's tire. Build a zero-based plan. Automate saving. Set percentages for generosity and growth. Establish spending limits and stick to them. Pay what you owe on time. Money is a tool, not a trophy. Instruct it or it will insult you. Seventh leak, spiritual neglect, prayerlessness, bitterness, comparison, and unchecked pride. Power without prayer is a short circuit. Bitterness poisons the well you must drink from. Comparison steals focus. Pride blinds counsel. Return to the altar daily. Forgive quickly. Bless those who seem ahead. Invite correction. Fast to reset appetite. Humble yourself and I will keep lifting you. Let heaven record it. You will be a sealed vessel. End the tolerances. Close the leaks. Stay grounded. Stay humble. Stay disciplined. Say it out loud. Do it in your calendar. Prove it with your transactions. Seal the drains and expansion will stay. Now hear me clearly. The door opening is not the finish line. It is the start of stewardship that keeps the door open. Blessing requires maintenance. Favor requires stewardship. This is your 30-day operating order. We shift now from shout to schedule, from momentum to management, from possibility to practiced governance. Emotion rejoices, obedience organizes. Do it now. Days 1 to 7. Consecrate your calendar. Establish a morning watch with me before you touch a screen. Script your day in prayer. Submit your plans and invite my order. Block deep work windows where you protect your assignment from noise. Set admin hours so emails stop stealing your mornings. Install a non-negotiable weekly review. What was promised, what was delivered, what must be pruned. Reserve a true Sabbath. Rest is not optional. It is spiritual infrastructure. Document everything. Put deliverables in writing, deadlines with dates, scope with clarity, payment terms with teeth. Contracts are not distrust. They are covenant clarity, defined communication lanes, office hours, response windows, escalation paths. Access is stewardship. Randomness is a leak. Days 8 to 14. Build the systems that carry weight. Create a simple dashboard. Commitments, cash flow, key metrics. Standardize what repeats. Onboarding checklist, kickoff agenda, status cadence, closeout ritual. Name your folders, version control your work, record decisions. Seek wise counsel, one mentor for strategy, one for character. Invite intercessory cover, ask them to pray by calendar, not by guess. Draft scripts for hard conversations, so courage has words when pressure arrives. Excellence becomes repeatable when you architect it. Days 15 to 21. Practice humility as strategy. Gratitude daily. Thank the advocates, credit the collaborators, honor the predecessors without shrinking yourself. Teachability keeps doors open. Ask for feedback. Receive correction without defensiveness. Iterate in public with integrity. Beware 3 threats. Arrogance. The crown is a mirror. If you stare at it, you will forget the work. Overextension. Do fewer things deeply. Protect your no so your yes has power. Reckless spending. Early checks are tests. Money is a tool, not a trophy. Separate accounts. Set percentages. Generosity, reserve, growth. Pay what you owe on time. Delay large purchases. Invest in assets that multiply assignment, not trinkets that broadcast insecurity. Days 22 to 30. Protect peace on purpose. Reduce drama intake. Mute chaos channels. Limit doom scroll windows. Exit group threads that rehearse fear. Choose your battles. Address what touches mission. Release what only tickles ego. Do not negotiate with distraction. If it challenged your boundaries 3 times, it is no longer confused. It is committed. Guard your body so your spirit can run. Sleep, hydration, movement. Keep a daily 10-minute silence to recenter under my voice. Rehearse your why until the noise grows bored and leaves. Community covenant. You will not build alone. Alignment requires connection. Assemble a circle of fruit-bearing peers, mentors, and intercessors. Set a weekly 30-minute accountability call. Share metrics, not myths. Pray for each other by name. Type 111 as your agreement to community covering. Let heaven record your refusal to isolate under increase. Then schedule the first meeting today. Now, hear me. Write your 30-day stewardship plan tonight. Block your calendar. Send 2 alignment emails. Finalize 1 contract. Fund your reserve. Choose your mentor. Let heaven record it. I stabilize what you steward. Walk in humility. Govern with order. Keep your peace. And watch how the door that opened stays open under disciplined obedience. Now hear me clearly. This is the moment of activation. Everything you walk through was design. Every delay, every silence, every pressure point. Readiness, not worthiness, was the threshold, and you have crossed it. 3 doors stand open: promotion, pivot, relocation, and confirmations are already clustering. You have seen the signs. You have ended tolerances that kept you small. You have a stewardship plan to carry the weight. Now we bind it all into covenant and set your next 90 days in motion. I speak over your work with my authority. What was stalled will move. What was blocked will open. What was hidden will be recognized. Lines that would not connect will click into place. Rooms that never noticed you will call your name. The resource that dodged you will locate you cleanly, contractually, and on time. Your peace will not be a casualty of expansion, it will be the engine of it. Your pace will be firm and rhythmic. Your boundaries will be honored. Your excellence will be documented. Your impact will be multiplied without the corrosion of compromise. Seal this now. Type 888 as your agreement with expansion and abundance. Let heaven record it. Do it now, not as superstition, as declaration. Your yes is not to hype. Your yes is to order, obedience, and overflow. As you mark it, angels are dispatched to align calendars, soften hearts, and straighten crooked paths. Blessing code 888 is now active where you steward with integrity. Do not go back to the smaller version of you. Do not crawl under the cloak that loneliness taught you to love. Do not rehearse the language of delay when I have given you the dialect of destiny. Alignment is your new normal. Bold obedience is your baseline. Boundaries are not rudeness. They are reverence for what I placed in you. When fear whispers, "Who do you think you are?" answer it with what I say. You are sent. You are ready. You are required. Stay connected under covenant covering. Subscribe and set the bell, not as routine, as a standing agreement to receive instruction when timing tightens. Scroll to the pinned comment below. There is a next step reserved for the ones who will walk, not just watch. Join the inner circle for targeted guidance and intercession. If I nudge you to sow, understand. It is not a donation. It is a seed of obedience planted into the soil of your assignment. I multiply what is sown in faith with clean motive and clear stewardship. Let heaven record it. These next 90 days do not mirror the last 90. You will act at the speed of confirmation. You will steward as fiercely as you celebrate. You will build what I showed you and guard what I give you. You are chosen. You are refined. You are mine. Now stand up and build.